Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Tuesday puzzle, and I appear to be wearing some kind of pilot's headset. This is because I'm recording remotely, and I have had so many difficulties with poor audio quality when recording remotely, a huge amount of ambient noise leakage, so I'm trying a headset to see if the more concentrated microphone area is helpful. We'll have to see. This experimental edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Skella Chicken, Quotidiophile, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for directly supporting this channel and help making the series a sustainable part of my daily work. I do very much appreciate it, so thank you to those 5 benefactors, and thank you to everybody who has backed the Patreon campaign at any level. If you'd like to join their ranks, you can get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And you can find a link to that in the description field underneath the video. It's also at patreon.com/dailysolve. So thank you to all of my patrons. And thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. Of course, you can do that as well if you'd like to see these videos more easily. So all that said, let's get on to the solve. This is a Tuesday puzzle. It was constructed by Bruce Haight. I certainly recognize the name, a very experienced New York Times crossword constructor, dozens of crosswords to his name. And here's another one. It's a Tuesday puzzle, so it shouldn't be too difficult, and it will have a theme. So let's start solving. And as usual, when I'm farther away from my screen, so I'm having trouble actually reading this. Sorry. The screen is smaller, I guess, is actually the more proximate cause of my difficulty. Put in stitches. Sew, perhaps? You sew stitches? Oh, what did I do? Oh, spacebar. Oh, sorry, my keyboard shortcuts have been reset. So spacebar should toggle between a cross and down. Sorry about that. You should not type a space into the grid. There we go. Kind of wrestling. I don't know. Greco-Roman wrestling, kind of wrestling, mud wrestling. I'm sure there's a very obvious one I'm missing here. What is this? Twin in Genesis. Esau? And blemish, so to speak. Warp, maybe? That would be an example of a blemish, arguably. Blank Today, USA Today is the name of a newspaper in the United States. And a kind of wrestling. Oh, sumo wrestling. Right. There we go. So here we have blemish, mar. Oh, right. That's funny. So we have blemish, so to speak, is a warp, and then blemish is mar. So mar is more literal. Mar is a more literal synonym of blemish than warp is, I suppose. So here we have defeat by a show. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I see. So this is wart, actually. Blemish, so to speak. Wart. So why is that so to speak? I suppose it's maybe alluding to the phrase warts and all in a metaphorical sense. I'm not entirely sure why a wart wouldn't be a blemish. Oh, I guess it's because in this sense it means a blemish of the skin. So it's using blemish in that kind of, I don't know, not quite idiomatic, because I do think it's still literally true. Anyway, I'm going to stop discussing blemishes and move on to 19 across. Defeat by a show of hands. Say outclap, maybe? Say show of hands, and you're looking for rounds of applause. Now here we have biblical site for the... Oh, interesting. Biblical site for the battle depicted in this puzzle. What? I can't really tell what's being depicted in this puzzle. Something is being depicted in this puzzle. Of course, I should have noted immediately upon starting the puzzle that this is a very unusual grid. For one thing, it's symmetrical about a vertical axis. So if we folded the grid in half vertically, we would, the black cells would match up. And that is unusual in the sense that typically the crossword is radially symmetric, but I can't really tell what it's depicting. I'm very sorry if this is obvious to many of you. I'm sure it is obvious to some people. I'm going to just keep solving the crossword and see what happens. Government security, a T bond, a T bill, a T treasury bond. It feels as though I'm speaking much more loudly than I ordinarily do because I can't really hear myself inside these because my ears are covered up, and my voice isn't being fed back in here. It's very surreal. I don't like it particularly. I'll have to acclimate myself to it. Anyway, medicinal liquid is a serum, maybe? So this wasn't a tea anything. I was expecting this to be a treasury something. Perhaps not. Wealthy non-workers. Wealthy non-workers. I don't know. Is this something to do with sort of owning property or something like that? I'm not sure. Or heirs or something. Heirs or... I'm not sure. Rapa Nui is Easter Island, right? So that's not a serum. So what is this? Medicinal liquid. A tonic. A tonic would be an abyss. Okay, so this is... Right, okay. The government security is a treasury something, T something. Let's keep solving. Wealthy non-workers. And Scrooge's clerk was Bob Cratchit. Oh. From a Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Interesting. Is that... I thought Bob Cratchit's name had two T's. I'm sorry, I'm just going to type that in an empty area of the grid so I can see. Oh, maybe not. No, maybe not. So this isn't tonic after all. Oh, a tinct as in tincture. I'm just spelling every possible medicinal liquid that you could do. So we had serum, tonic, and tinct as in tincture. So I think this one must be correct at this point. Stands the test of time, endures. A T note. Oh, so this isn't outclap. Outvote? Defeat by a show of hands. You're raising your hands to vote for or against a measure or a candidate or something, I suppose. And then one known for living large and getting stoned. It's spelled giant right here. I'm wondering if the living large is a sort of literal punny sort of thing. Living large and getting stoned. Is that what's... Goliath. Is that what's being depicted in the grid? The story of David and Goliath? Is this must be the sort of slingshot in the middle of the grid. I think that's what's going on. I still don't quite see how the battle is being depicted exactly. Well, let's just keep solving and see what happens. 4 prefix could be tetra for 4, and Tony Blank, tennis champ of the 1950s. I'm not sure, unsurprisingly. Hoovervilles during the Great Depression, e.g. shanty towns, this must be. And Tony Blank, oh right, it's a tennis. Let's keep looking. Premium subscriptions often remove them. They often remove advertisements, so ads. And tool that's a homophone of 9 across. Tool that's a homophone of 9 across. What is 9 across? Oh, ads, sorry. Oh, and ads for, I don't know, leatherworking or woodworking or what have you. And that is a homophone of ads, meaning it is pronounced the same way, but is spelled differently, and it's a different word. Party bowl full. and monkey business. I feel very at sea solving this crossword. One contributing factor to that may be that I'm 7 hours removed from my home time zone, and so it is something like 5 a.m. according to my biological clock, and I've not yet slept, so I'm going to sleep immediately after I record this. That might be contributing to the overall state of affairs that's occurring at the moment. I keep looking back at this Tony clue as though I'm going to somehow solve it. Big name in French fashion, Dior, Christian Dior. And catch sight of is spot, maybe? Party bowl full up, dip. You could have a bowl of dip. And monkey business is a zoo, a literal business that houses monkeys, I suppose. Okay, so is this enough to give me the tennis champ? Tony, I don't think it is, sadly. Tony Travert, Tony Tracert, I don't know. Hebrew Bible text with the story depicted in this puzzle. Oh, interesting. But I don't know that I know it off the top of my head, sadly. And there's the biblical site. And then what is this? Espresso diluted with hot water is an Americano. What about this little 3x3 square in here? Sorta. Could be ish. That sort of happened. It happened-ish. Forensic TV franchise. Oh, maybe Cratchit is spelled with an I, because this could be CSI. Crime scene investigation, I guess that's called. Or I guess that means. Oh, wealthy non-workers, the idle rich. Right. I had the leisure class in my mind, but I didn't say it because it was obviously far too long to fit here. But I should have said it because maybe it would have put me in mind of a sort of synonym, which is the idle rich. What sea faucets are in Italy, confusingly? Hot? I didn't know that. This is so unfair. That must be what the Italians think about their faucets. Works and works and works. Toils. Ramp taken by a skier. Ramp taken by a skier. I'm not sure. Many informally. Could be Lotta or Lotsa. Either one of those I think would be perfectly acceptable. Win every game of a series is to sweep. That is something sort of sports related that I do basically understand. Catch my drift could be in a slangy sort of contracted way. And a high-calorie dessert, a tart? I was going to say a tort. I guess it could conceivably be either. Maybe I won't fill that in yet. Oh, this looks like a book of Trabert, Tony Trabert. I don't think that was one of my uninformed guesses. So, serviceable is of use. Okay, yes. So this was tort after all. And a ramp taken by a skier is an in-run, maybe? Issue for a punter or field goal kicker. Something snap? Kind of sounds like it's somehow appropriate. Tolstoy's Karenina, Anna Karenina, of fiction, and Hebrew. Oh, right, the book of what? I can't bring it to mind offhand. Wrong thing to say when you're actually lying. Trust me, or believe me, or for real, or something like that. Something that would raise suspicion. But I can't think of a suitable example here. Anxious could be on or in something. Probably not in. That wouldn't work with the W after it. So probably on something. You're anxious. You're on edge. There we go. Okay. Issue for a punter or field goal kicker. A low snap, perhaps? I'm not really sure, but that seems physically likely, I think. Okay, so does that work with wrong thing to say when you're actually lying? Oh, when you're actually lying, there's a question mark here. This is some sort of pun. Could it mean actually lying down? Lay low or something? Wrong thing to say when you're actually lying. Is this a grammatical point? Is this alluding to the fact that people say, I'm going to lay down, when it's sort of technically more grammatically accurate to say I'm going to lie down? I'm probably really grasping at straws here. Wrong thing to say when you're actually lying. I don't know. Sorry. Lying, maybe it is the thing I said. Maybe it's simply replacing the word lying with laying, because that is, you could argue grammatically that's the wrong thing to say. I mean, I think give it another 10 years or so, and that will just have changed grammatically. But for the time being, you could argue that that's incorrect. Classic underdog. I'm just going to try these crosses and see if it works. So David, as in David and Goliath, that's clearly the theme of the puzzle at this point. Lace work. Not sure. Mississippi. Sorry. Mississippi. I really am losing it. Missouri River tributary. Osage? Is that? That's definitely something geographically relevant. But is it to this? Is it relevant to this? Routing word, via. There we go. And makeup of Joan Didion's Slouching Toward Bethlehem essays. That's an essay collection. Lacework. Dying? Do you as in, doesn't really seem familiar with. Oh, something to, so tying, lacework, tying. Oh, right. Again, I should have paid attention to the question mark. This is a pun, as indicated by the question mark, which signifies puns. And so the lace in this case refers to shoelaces, I think. So lacework is tying your shoes. And then familiar with is, I can't determine it. Van Halen song that starts, I get up and nothing gets me down. I don't know. Is it Jump? I have no idea what the lyrics to that song are other than Jump, but it sort of seems thematically appropriate to this. Can we put it in and see what happens? Luxurious could be posh, maybe. And Facebook's parent company is now called Meta, so there's that. Russia's Ural Mountains. Okay, this is all working out. Neighbors to keep up with the Joneses in the idiom keeping up with the Joneses, to sort of stay abreast of the newest, fanciest, or most current belongings, I guess. Okay. Oh, the Valley of Elah, is that the biblical site for the Battle of David and Goliath? Own up, yeah, fess up. And fashionable in France could be a la mode. No. Oh, maybe this is wrong. I'm going to keep solving, see what happens. April Fool's exclamation. Got ya, maybe? Carnival offerings. Probably ends in an S. Does that help? Flatters in order to boost self-esteem. Oh, I don't think I read this clue. Flatters in order to boost self-esteem. Ego massages. Could massage somebody's ego for that purpose. La Blanc. Neighborhood of San Diego. Oh, I should know this. La Jolla. La Jolla is an upscale neighborhood in San Diego. And that's pretty obscure, I would think, if you are not pretty familiar with Southern California. And then Argentine writer Jorge Luis Borges. There we go. Less obscure than La Jolla, I would think. And first-year law students. 1Ls. This is one of those things you just sort of pick up. Some kind of nickname for first-year law students. I guess from 1L for first-year law. Carnival offerings are rides, I suppose. There we go. And a guacamole ingredient. You can have chopped onion in guacamole, certainly. It ordinarily would. And certain flat screen in brief. Oh, LED TV? Is that something? LCD would be what I would have assumed, but I think you can have LED screens as well, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, I think that must be right. And fashionable oh, right, okay, on Vogue. There we go. And then familiar with is used to. Okay, great. So, polite assent. Yes, ma'am, perhaps? And, oh, Hebrew Bible. Oh, interesting. Oh, right. I saw this before. I forgot. Hebrew Bible text for the story depicted in this puzzle is the Book of Samuel. And Big Ten edition announced in 2022. Utah? Probably not. I think the Big Ten is in California, or at least the West Coast generally, because I think I went to the University of California at Berkeley, and I think we were in the Big Ten. But then I think it grew and became the Big 12 or something. Did it shrink again? I don't know. Pinnacle could be the acme, the sort of height of something. Touched down could be a lit. And yoga class accessories are mats. So this looks like UCLA. How is UCLA not already in that conference? I guess I just don't know. And to give off is to emit an odor or a light or something like that. And sure, why not? Let's finish this puzzle, please. And there we go. Whoa. And there we have it. When I said let's finish this puzzle, please, I didn't mean because I wasn't enjoying the puzzle. I just meant I'm very tired. So let's admire the puzzle quickly. And we had a theme. This is a theme in, I would say, a way that is very much deserving of the concept of a theme, right? It's not a sort of mechanic in which you kind of modify answers or something like that, which we call themes. But this is a theme in the sense that there is thematic material that the puzzle is concerned with, and it is a particular story in this case, the Battle of David and Goliath. And so we have David down here and Goliath, and then I think David's sling and then the stone that slays Goliath, and we have the Valley of Elah and the Book of Samuel. And was there anything else? Am I missing something? I think those were the main bits. So yes, a very nice, well-illustrated theme by Bruce Haight, and littered throughout the puzzle, we have these various references to the story of David and Goliath and the battle described therein. And I don't think it was too tough a puzzle. I definitely felt very slow solving it, but I think it's hard to disambiguate that from my current physical state. We did have La Jolla. I think that's fairly obscure, probably for most. And a few other. Trabert. I mean, this is the thing where I'm sure plenty of people would have known Tony Trabert, and it's beyond my particular knowledge, but hard to say. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to wrap this up. I am going to read one comment because I did, before the puzzle began, I did go and sweep for comments, and I found one correction from yesterday. So let's pull that up. Oh, they're in a different place than usual. Anyway, Mr. EQ. Oops, I haven't turned on the privacy bell. There we go. Now we will discuss a single comment from yesterday's puzzle. Mr. EQ comments, regarding the lap fill, that's lap, L-A-P-P, I can perhaps shed some light on it. I'm Norwegian and I have some friends from there. I think, and so I think Mr. EQ is referring to my, what I mentioned. I think there was something around lap as a phrase that's sort of not preferred. And Mr. EQ says, I think maybe you're thinking of the idea that it's not proper to refer to the Sami people as lap. It's not a very harsh slur, but it's certainly derogatory. I conjecture that part of the reason for this is that the etymological root of Lapland is believed to mean wilderness, so it sort of infers a wilding categorization upon a people that is actually very civilized and peaceful. It's a little bit confusing because referring to the region as Lapland is not considered derogatory by most Sami people, but referring to the people as Lap is. Thank you. That makes complete sense as you've explained it. So appreciate that. Thank you for commenting. And that's that for today's video. I'm going to take my leave. I'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday puzzle. I don't know if I'll be doing it again at this sort of hour or the following morning. We'll have to see. But in any case, I hope you join me for that, and I will be back for what should be a slight step up in difficulty and another themed puzzle. So join me then. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.